You mean he forfeits his right to say anything, too? Oh, it's you. Emma! Are you okay? Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man, and she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment to chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders? She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait here? No! I'm going with you. I want to be there when Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Mr. Wright. It's time to end this. To be continued. But not for this sucker! We're continuing right the frick now! We're gonna save, though. February 25th, 221, District Court number 9. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, please take the stand? Miss Lana Skye, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You all know that I've done what I've done the past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Skye. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course. The truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you please. First, tell us about your relationship with Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only one we can have to get Gant. Damn it. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. Damn it! I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. Damn it! My only motive was to get Drake convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Oh, God. Why are you lying? Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana! If this is true, then that means Chief Gant had nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep inside. She's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Damn it. Hold it! You say that... You say you did this all by yourself. Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor's award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change that statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall won't wound up being killed by Drake? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Drake was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor, a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So when you found the scene, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to, yes. Alright, so... press. You planted the tip of Drake's knife in the victim's wound, and then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You, of all people, should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others. When you showed up to the scene, where was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for it is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body. It's a piece of jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Hold it! Pieces of the jar? You mean... Yes, that wretched jar Mr. Wright showed us earlier. In order to show that Drake committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedited to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead, and Drake was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have broke during their struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here, somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. Objection! Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been useless. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the evidence threatened my plan." That's right. Do you mean that problem with? It's simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on the jar of the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it to his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not have yet been broken before he died. Ah! He couldn't have written Emma's name on the shattered jar. Order! Order! Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may have missed something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're heading. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got all of them. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. You mean you're the one who wiped away the bloody message? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Drake was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well. The defense may now begin the cross-examination. Objection! Miss Guy, I believe this jar conceals the truth even you are aware of. What? We found the final piece of the jar in Chief Gant's safe. Is in Chief Gant's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about the final piece. There was still blood on it.